for us, the exciting part was, there's a difference between how the 90s was for us compared to, say, the 80s and 70s or even the 2000s. You came out 92, 93, just at the epicenter of when the 90s were just at its peak. You had, you mentioned Jodeci, Mary was blowing up. Jade came out with Don't Walk Away. Brown, so all these groups were coming out, and everyone was different. It's not, no copycats. There was no, you knew every artist, every song, and you can we could celebrate everyone. As an artist back then, with all these amazing other groups, solos and groups, how was it like? Did you feel like you're in competition? Did you feel like we need to show up because Jade and Vogue's, what was it like back in those early days?
Absolutely. It's always about friendly competition. Like, we were fans of, and still are, fans of all of those groups. But if we on the bill together, I one job to do, and that's to bust their ass. I mean, and I'm sure they felt the same way or whatever, but it's all in love. It's all like, oh shit, they killed. We gotta go out there and smash. So it's always, that friendly competition for sure.
But did you know it was a lot of, look at the industry now, but there was so much competition, so many groups, they were all doing great things. Did you feel the pressure about how to get to number one and stuff like that? Did you?
No. Now that's the one thing my record company did. Like, they worked a lot of our records, and we never really had that kind of pressure. We didn't know that the record was gonna just do crazy numbers. We had no idea. It's just one day, we did a video, and we were going. I know I would go to my godmother's house in the Bronx, and then the next time the record came out, the video was out, and then everybody saw that I was at my godmother's house. People banging on the door. Oh, this is something else. So it just kind of changed, but it changed for the better. Like, I wouldn't trade that for anything, because it really taught me how to be humble. It taught me that people don't have to like you, and they don't have to love you. So when I meet people who are not SWV fans, I don't take that personal.
Are there not people that are not SWV fans? I didn't realize.
Oh, because everybody don't like us.
Okay.
For whatever reason. I mean, they somebody don't have to like you for their own little reasons. It could be something so dumb, or they just may not be into your kind of music, and you have to respect that. Everybody is not gonna like you and love you. And that's why a lot of these young artists that come up today, and I speak to them and stuff, and I say, whether your music is gonna attract them, when you go into somebody's presence, you just make sure they like something about you. Because that something about you can make them like everything about you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot, even to me, because I don't know, people just have this perception of me. I could turn it on and off, but they meet me, it's always fun. It's always a good time. They're like, oh my God, I fuck with you. You have a good time. But that's just me. Like, I just feel like I just want everybody to just have a good time and do some shit talking and just have fun. We've all been miserable. I know I made a vow. I done cried my last yesterday. I'm not doing all that crying shit no more. I'm not, because I have so much more to be thankful for.
Yeah.
Like, my present is so amazing right now. My today, my current is so amazing to me. So I have a lot to celebrate, even like outside of how people know me.
Yeah. I know the reputation is, Lelee, she's always a straight talker and stuff. So.
I'm a shit talker all day. I am, but it's cool. That's just my personality, and people just, I love for people to be themselves, you
Mm,
know, because all day we spend time, I'm like people that we know, they're corporate people and they go to church and they put on.
yeah.
What people see about them is not even who they are. It's who they think they should have to be in front of people. And
Mm,
why should you have to be somebody other than who you are?
yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
And as I said, in your industry, it's very different from, we're day to day. No, we can almost be as genuine as we need to be. But in the industry you're in, you're probably used to people who are two-faced and stuff. But how was it like when you first heard yourself on the radio? Because we've seen different biops and like even Salt and Pepper or New Edition when they're listening to themselves on the radio for the first time. Can you remember when you first heard?
I remember very clearly. We was in LA on a promo tour. We were in a limo coming from the airport and right here
LA.
came this. We sticking our head out the window. Oh my God. But it's just amazing because you really you put in a lot of work in the studios, a lot of long hours, a lot of sacrificing, and now you putting yourself in a position to finally see if this thing is going to work or not.
Yeah.
And thank God, it did. I've been blessed to work with two amazing women, right, wrong, and indifferent. We did some dope shit. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? That dope shit nobody can take away from us because we all were there,
Yeah.
you know? So one thing I love about SWV is that we always vowed that we will always keep our same three members. And regardless of when we were going through our transition and we was doing a little petty stuff, the petty fighting stuff, when we came back as three girls who started this thing. And to me, that's what it's all about.
Yeah. I mean, and thank God nothing is, because I know a few other groups, maybe somebody has passed away and they can't be back there, but
Yeah.
to keep the core it's very impressive, especially after that span of time. When the record first came out, I remember watching the New Edition stuff. They were coming back from tour, but going back to their homes and stuff. Did RCA move you guys into Manhattan, into penthouses, or were you still back in your?
RCA didn't move us into shit. Everything comes with a price, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, they didn't pay shit. I paid. Okay, so before I got the condo in Jersey, I stayed at the Renaissance Hotel in Times Square.
Wow.
That's when I learned that everything comes with a price. They wasn't putting me up in shit. That was a bill that we had to pay.
Wow.
And I stayed there for like 3 months.
And no one told you that this? No one tells you?
No, they don't tell you shit. They don't tell you nothing. They don't tell you nothing. You just find the only person that tell you anything is your accountant, because one thing you're going to tell you, your ass is broke. That's the only one that's doing some talking is the accountant,
Wow.
But nobody don't tell you nothing.
Wow. It's hard for us, as I said, as fans, just to see how young talented people just get with no. You think someone like Brandy, whose mum, or Usher, they have parents who, or even Beyonce and Destiny's Child. When you have parents, they know what's going on. They sort of look after them, but that's very rare to have. Not too many people like that.
But see, this is the thing, and I'm not trying to diminish anybody's character at all, but sometimes when you're coming up in a profession like this, the people that brought you in, they don't know no more than what you know.
Mm.
So that's part of the problem as well. You got a whole lot of inexperienced people who are just ignorant to how the industry works and how paperwork works. You know what I mean? Like we didn't know back then that we got to get a lawyer to watch this lawyer and this account to look over this accountant's books. You know, like we didn't know. We didn't have that lesson back then.
Wow.
So thing is literally trial and error. And when I look at these artists now and see how much money they get, I'm like, shit.
We came out too early.
Yeah, you know, like, yo, they getting paid.
Yeah.
But I love it though. Like whenever I get an opportunity to tell somebody these stories and these lessons that I had. I mean, I have wrote a lot of the stuff in my book as well, but I love it. I love to see the new artists today that's just doing their thing, man. They doing their thing. And if you've been following me, you know I love me some her. Like I love her. That's my little baby. And I just see her she's just blossoming. Just being a musician.
Yeah.
She ain't naked. She ain't selling ass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just getting paid to be a musician.
Yeah.
And that is heard of nowadays.
I remember watching my favorite, I used to love Video Soul, and you guys were sitting down with Mr. Donnie Simpson, and then you were promoting Downtown. That's why I played the video today. And he said, so do you remember when you sat down with Donnie and you were promoting Downtown, and he said, oh, you guys are church girls, and what are you singing about? And it almost feels as if you didn't realize the song that you've been recording.
No, I knew from day one what that song was about. That story came from, but I knew what that song was about, trying to figure out a tasteful way to say it. I ain't got nothing to do with me. I knew what that song was about from day one.
But then, did you guys have a choice in you know, when you heard the song, just sing it, or could you say anything, or were you just like, well, what was it like for being young recording artists and the labels are bringing these producers with these tracks?
Well, I think we had a hand in picking the songs, because we never really do songs we don't like most of the time. And then sometimes artists really don't know what they're talking about, because there were songs we didn't like, and those songs went like bananas, you know? They went bananas, and Right Here being one of them.
Okay. The remix for Human Nature remix. I remember interviewing Mucho Scott, and he was at Future, and he says, yeah, you guys all came down, but you guys weren't really feeling it and stuff. I mean, one of the biggest singles in the 90s, but what did you like the original and didn't want to mess it up?
I love the original. That, I don't know, was, being from New York City is something. Everything was about this, If you was bopping and do that, then that is gonna work. Like, it's dope.
Yeah.
But the song, even today, is so boring to me. I mean, definitely a song that you could enjoy on the radio, but it's not one of my favorite songs to perform. It's so boring. Even today, it's just boring to me.
So I can understand, because it's slow. I think most will, because of the Michael Jackson sort of underplay in it, I think that's what really, really got us like, wow, you got Michael on it. And I think, but yeah, as I said, it isn't I'm So Into You. My favorite from you guys was I'm So Into You. I get it musically. Teddy Riley has always been my biggest ever in anything he does. And so when I got the remix that he did with Rex and Effect and the whole Check One, Check Two, I mean, I love that single and stuff.
It's dope. He's dope.
Yeah, and so I mean, and I know All Star also did some tracks with you guys as well. But I did love those types, the remixes, because it showcased, it really took the song, not taking anything away from the original, but it really took the song across to people who didn't really hear the first
Oh,
one.
yes, for sure. I mean, that song took off. And our A&R at the time, his name is Kenny Ortiz. He shut us up on that one. Like if there was ever a time we were proven to be wrong and we need to shut the hell up sometime, moment, because as artists, we always like to do things that we like to do and we want to do, but we never we don't think about the business side of it. And wow, we can build this audience and we can gravitate towards this audience, and make it not just like our record, but an everybody record.
Yeah.
So, and that's what you said should definitely have in mind when you go in the studio and record songs. You want a record that everybody can sing.
Can enjoy, yeah.
Those records are the records that win.
Yeah.
Simplicity always best. It always works. Like you
Yeah.
got best singers who can't sell records because no one can sing like that.
Yeah, I mean that's probably how I got into you guys. Is that I'm so into you. Just like anything Teddy did, I bought, and that's how I got in it. I do wonder then, when was it like going back to the Apollo for the first time? Because here's your 80-year-old person who has totally prophesied to your mom, I'm going to come as a guest. Can you remember the very first show you did as part of SWV?
I believe it was Jack the Rapper. I want to say Jack the Rapper was the first. That was a big music convention in Atlanta.
Oh yeah, back yeah.
And that was one of the first real performances that we've done, and it was just I'd never forget Jack the Rapper because all the record labels had their artists there. So it was like one big party.
Yeah.
Where each artist, each record label rented out a different room in the hotel. And the artists would their artists would showcase Uptown, MCA would have their room. RCA would have their room where it'd be SWV, Shantae Savage, and there was a girl group on our label as well called Black Girl.
Oh yeah, I'm a 90s girl. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Girl, yeah. And they were super dope too. I ain't gonna front. But they were dope. They were really, and but we were just two different groups. You couldn't take us. We was gonna take the Bronx and Brooklyn wherever we went. I just feel like it's so important to rep where you from. Like people get on me because of the way I talk. I'm not corporate. I'm not none of that stuff, but I can transition from talking to my friends to talking to somebody who is unfamiliar with where I'm from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I love that. I love everything the hood have to offer, honey, because that was my stomping ground.
Yeah.
That's how I learned a lot of my lessons.
What about when you first went back to the Apollo as a guest? Can you remember that?
When I first went back to the Apollo as a guest, absolutely. I think we had on, oh God, I think we had doobies in our hair. I had a beige jumpsuit, some beige overalls. Oh, that outfit was so ugly. Well, yeah, it was exciting because I was like, oh my God. And then, the crowd, just knowing that the crowd wasn't going to boo us. So it's this thing when you go on the Apollo stage and you like a guest and they're excited about you, they jump up immediately. They jump up right away, So I love just the energy. It was amazing. It was good. It was really good.
Did your mom come to see at the Apollo?
My mom was at the Apollo for that particular show. Absolutely. Yes, she was.
Did she remember what you said when you were a kid?
Oh, yeah, she remembered. She remembered.
Wow.
Yep, she remembered. And my mom lived long enough to see that come to pass, and she died.
Oh, how long ago did she die?
My mom died 2 years, 3 years after after SWV was born.
Wow. Wow. Sorry.
3 years after that Apollo Theater performance, our first Apollo Theater performance, my mom passed away.
Wow.
Hmm.
How did you manage at that young age?
It was hard. I had to go to the funeral and go back to work, you know?
Wow. Did you get any emotional support and therapeutic support from the labels and management? And
Oh yeah. Now
okay.
that's your support. It's sad somebody gotta die for them to feel some type of compassion for you, but yeah, absolutely. And I'll never forget, I have this beautiful story about Heavy D, right? Heavy D was the first celebrity that sent me flowers when my mom passed away.
Wow.
So I will always remember Heavy D. When I tell you he sent the most beautiful flowers for my mom, they couldn't even fit all the flowers in a funeral home. It was just
Wow.
beautiful.
Wow. Did a lot of people reach out to support you within the industry?
Well, yeah, but not a lot, because we didn't have the access we had back then. Like everybody didn't have your phone number. I didn't have a phone number. We had beepers.
Oh yeah, because yeah, pages. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have cell phones. We had beepers, and the sidekicks was popular at one point, and
Yeah.
a lot of people didn't really have my phone number. But of course, through my coworkers, they kind of sent their condolences to
Yeah.
me, and I received it.
Mm.
The album just had all of these rappers on there, and I'm like, ugh, I just thought it was stupid. It was very dumb business-wise. Like, why would you do that?
Thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, but most importantly, to press the notification bell so that you can be notified when we do have a new interview. Loads to come, but thanks a lot for watching.